Did you know that there is a secret Amazon hidden within the Amazon app itself? Seriously, open the Amazon app right now and type in haul. It unlocks this weird knockoff Temu that almost nobody knows about. Everything on this weird secret section of Amazon is absurdly cheap. So naturally, I wanted to build a boat. Now, unfortunately, the boating items are extremely limited. However, I did get my hands on 5 strange yet interesting boating items that we are going to unbox and test in today's video. One of which is currently attached to my trolling motor under the water right now. But let's rewind, jump in the garage, and start unboxing. It has been months since I have ordered these products, so honestly, I don't really remember what I got. Surprisingly, Temu had way more boating products, but this is a new thing, so hey, maybe they'll get better. But let's see what they did have. I'm also curious to see how the quality stacks up against Temu, because Temu was garbage. Okay, we have Link style boat. Oh, these are the nav lights. Yeah, we got nav lights. Open it up. Tiny little box. Wait a minute. Oh, you have to drill a hole. I like it because you can screw it in or there's adhesive backing, but I thought that the wires would come out the front here, kind of out of the crack. It looks like a butt crack. It looks like a butt. No. Looks like a nutsack. That gummit. I got scammed for nutsack lights. Anyway, the wires come out of the bottom, so you're basically forced to drill in the boat. And the other reason I bought these is because I thought they were going to be able to come out the back. You just use the adhesive and it's good to go. You don't have to do anything. So that actually ruins the entire point of why I got these navigation lights. I do have a graph battery here that we are going to touch the terminals to see if it even works. Negative and positive. Oh, it works. Oh, it works. It works. Traditionally, the cables would be a little longer than that, but not a scam. I'll take the ball sack nav lights. We got a net, we got a fishing net, and a absolutely cooked box. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I did get a fishing net in the Temu video, and this actually does appear to be the exact same product. Except I thought this one was supposed to be telescoping. This is actually way, way smaller. Let me see if I can find my Temu version. This is like a live well net almost. What? Oh, here's my Temu net. Ah, yeah, this one's way bigger. Look at the size difference. This is insane. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I'll pop up on the screen, but I hope I did not pay much for this piece of junk. Anyway, you pretty much have to be completely look at that, in the water, touching the water to be able to get any sort of fish in there. And if it's a big bass, absolutely forget it. If you're on a bass boat, you're basically going to be on your stomach in the water, trying your best to, net a fish. So given that the Temu version I had was basically the exact same price and quadruple the size, I'm gonna say I got scammed. I think I got scammed again. Let's see what's in this destroyed little box. It's my compass. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Look at that, I got a little compass I can stick on the boat. Doesn't look like there's a way to actually permanently mount it, but you do get this super cheap little double-sided adhesive, except the bottom is not flat. The bottom is like ribbed, so that's really not good. I don't think that's gonna work. The compass appears to work. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but seriously, I don't think this is gonna get mounted on the boat because I don't think I can. I think a good spot for it is actually going to be in this little area right here. Now, we do have some dust there, but I'm gonna get that out of the way. We're gonna stick this to it and see if it works. It's not. Okay, first, let's see if it sticks to the compass itself. Actually, it did stick. Never mind, this might work. I don't think it's gonna stick to the boat, actually. Now, I'm not necessarily going to fault the compass for that. I didn't think it was gonna stick to the compass itself, but it actually stuck really, really well. So props to that. Yeah, the compass is actually really sick, not a scam. Genuinely a huge fan of this. This was honestly a steal. I think I'm just gonna stick this on my desk, just for fun, just for a little ornament. That's pretty awesome. I don't really need it on my boat. Now, I want you to be completely honest and let me know in the comments below, have you ever heard of Amazon haul before this video? Seriously, I'm trying to figure it out because it seems like it's been out for a while, but every single person I ask has no idea it exists. It's the weirdest thing ever, especially since it's coming from Amazon. We've been playing with a bunch of cheap, relatively useless boating items from Amazon hauls. Ow. So I wanted to take 60 seconds to tell you about the sponsor of today's video. Now, hold on! It just so happens to be a product that literally anybody who owns a boat could seriously enjoy, and it's under $100. That's the Dr. Prepare multifunctional battery box. Now, we've made multiple videos talking about the Dr. Prepare 100 amp hour lithium trolling motor batteries before because they're extremely affordable, lightweight, waterproof, and you can actually read your exact voltage and battery percentage remaining with a built-in LCD screen right on the battery.
battery. However, today we're talking about their battery box, turning a standard 100 amp hour, 50 amp hour, 25 amp hour, whatever, 12 volt battery into a multifunctional, extremely useful electric generator through a bazillion different ports, making this battery box the most feature-packed on the entire boating market. This fits up to a Group 31 size battery, has a 12/24 volt accessory port, 2 Anderson ports, it has a voltage reader, it has a 10 amp circuit breaker to protect not only your trolling motor but all your devices from sudden bursts of power. The Dr. Prepare battery box also has a USB-A and USB-C ports, side handles to maneuver it around nice and easy, and finally you can charge your battery through the box itself, which is personally what I do. It's so much easier. I highly recommend the Dr. Prepare battery box for lead acid and lithium batteries, and you can get 8% off using the code Greyson8. Click the link in the description to check them out. Thank you so much, Dr. Prepare, for keeping this show on the road. Now let's get back to testing these weird little doodads.
Looks like we have a couple things in here. 2 of the 3 items have been opened. Yeah, that's opened. And that has also been opened. We have a tiny, oh, I know what this is. As you guys know, we have a lot of boats on this channel. There's probably 5 sitting in here. And by law, you're required to have a sound producing device. So for, I don't know how much I spent on these, but I got 2 whistles. We gotta see if they both work though. They probably don't. Ooh, that works. And they worked, not scammed. Super cheap whistles that weigh pretty much nothing. That will probably never get used, so why spend money on them anyway? All right, heck yeah, we got a win. Okay, inside this box, I already know what it is because it's open. And this might actually be the one useful product I could recommend from Amazon Haul as long as it's not garbage. And that is going to be a trolling motor rudder. I currently have a rudder on my tiller steer trolling motor, and it makes a huge difference. And this was pretty cheap, so I really hope this works out well. Now it's made out of plastic, but it's a pretty good mold. As you can see, there is a little cutout right here, kind of where the motor housing sits, and it's got a nice kind of taper effect. And I don't know why it's jagged right there, but I've seen some really good reviewed ones on Amazon with this exact design, and it's pretty much fully made of plastic. I don't think it has really good stainless screws, but we're in freshwater, so that's all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the electric outboard, put this on, see if it works. But rudders are actually really useful on trolling motors, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so the whole idea of having a rudder on your trolling motor is actually pretty genius. Trolling motors are notorious for not tracking boats straight, and they basically just snake all over the place. But with a rudder attached to it, you can actually go full speed, and it's gonna keep your boat going in a much straighter line versus if you didn't have it at all. So for example, I can kind of just let go of my motor and it's gonna continue going in a straight line because that water has so much friction on that rudder, that motor does not wanna go left and right. So it's actually extremely valuable to have on small boats like this that use trolling motors on the transom. And for the price, I gotta say, this is an absolute win. A rudder on your trolling motor is one of those upgrades that I recommend everybody does. And next up is a mystery survival kit that I don't know how much I paid, I can't remember, but I know it ain't much. And this says dry storage baler. Great for emergency gear. I thought this was the emergency gear, so we'll see. Take the top off. And you do have a rubber seal, so it is a little bit of a dry storage. Oh, no way, we do have some stuff in here. We have a flashlight. Emergency flashlight, what a handy thing to have. And it doesn't have batteries. Are you kidding? What's the point of having an emergency kit that you just throw on your boat if you open it up and it doesn't work? I can't tell, I don't know if you can see in there, but the spring looks broken. So it doesn't say what kind of batteries it takes. Next inside is we have another whistle. Sounds a little different. Yeah, very loud. Well, we got 3 whistles from Amazon Haul, baby. And you have rope, which I could take some rope. Rope is always helpful. 50-foot rope and float buoy. So I guess if you're like drifting, if you've lost power and your anchor broke, at least you could tie up to something, whether it's a buoy ball or a tree or whatever. Maybe you find a cinder block and tie it to it and that's your anchor. Rope is really handy to have, so I'm actually pretty stoked on this. I will be using this actually as probably some grab rope or some pull rope on the bow of some of these boats. Probably gonna ditch the buoy and just have a nice set of 50-foot rope for lightweight boats. That's pretty sick, I'll take it. And of course we have the survival bucket itself, which is supposed to be dry storage. It screws, it does have a seal, but it's also supposed to be a bailing bucket. And we'll just have to wait till we get on the water to see how well this thing bails water. Now, what I am curious is if this bailing bucket dry storage hatch could also dub as an emergency paddle. It does have a way to kind of attach it to your wrist. So let's see, I'm gonna take us off spot lock here. It does move a large amount of water. Okay, I'm not gonna dock it for not performing a task that it was never designed to do, but you can use it as an emergency paddle if you don't have an emergency paddle, which of course, you should always have. I don't know, I mean, it's not a scam, it's just, I was under the impression that it was a survival pack, which means you would have batteries in the flashlight, does have a whistle, rope is fairly useful, but there's no sort of like reflective material in case you need to signal someone you're drifting out into the sea. I mean, you know, emergency dry storage is fine, but it's so cheap, I don't know. I'm gonna say this one is not a scam, but it's just not worth it.
Overall, Amazon haul didn't have hardly any boating related products to pick from. However, based on what we did receive, I can say that as long as you pay attention to what you're buying and realize you're getting an aquarium net or a bailing bucket, not a survival kit, you should come out on top with some pretty cheap stuff. However, boating is one of those things you want to be very careful about when cutting costs. Overall, I'd give my Amazon haul shopping experience a solid 4 out of 5 stars. As always, guys, tight lines and God bless.